good afternoon, good evening, whenever you listen to this. This is Tanks and Tutties, presented by Tubbs and Franke. This is episode 66. It's going to feel a little bit quick because I am trying to record fast. I have to go to Grand Rapids tonight for my 4 a.m. flight tomorrow morning, and I haven't packed even a little bit. And Frankie's going to a Grizzlies game tonight, so we're going to try to be quick here today. Oh, possibly. Well, I got to get
It was only
going,
$10 tickets, so we might not be going.
It's going to be a quick episode, so let's get right into it. Frankie, how was your weekend?
My weekend was up and down. Overall, I'd say it was pretty good. Friday, didn't do much. Ended up going out on Friday night with some of Paige's friends. Had a blast there. Went to a couple different bars. And then Saturday, got up, watched some football, ended up going out again Saturday night, mostly just to watch the Georgia-Kentucky game because a lot of people here are apparently Kentucky fans. The bar we went to was sweet. I didn't realize until after I started ordering drinks that you could get a bucket of bottles. I think it was 5 bottles of beer for $13. So really missed the mark with that one. But might have found a new bar. Really liked it. Tons of games going. I was just hitting bets left and right on Saturday. Sunday, woke up, did the usual groceries, donuts, all that kind of thing. And
That's your new
started.
thing, huh?
It is, and it works great because we get up, and if there's a London game on, I get to watch a little bit of the London game. This week I couldn't because it wasn't actually on TV. Well, at least I don't have NFL Network. But get up, game is on, go get your groceries, go get donuts. You're back at home. Everything's done by the 12 o'clock, or as you like to say, the 1 o'clock slate. And I just get to sit there, rip bets, watch football. And I had quite possibly the gambling weekend from God. So we'll talk about it later, but it was a fantastic day. And then Monday was Monday. I don't really want to talk about Monday, so yeah. How was your weekend?
My weekend was awesome. I actually wanted to shout out Sid first because we joked about it. Wednesday was our 6-month anniversary, so she made dinner for me. It was a delicious dinner, and we joked about it. She's like, you better start your weekend recap and say how good my meal was, and it was really fucking good. So just want to give a quick shout out there. But then Friday, went over to my parents'. Why did I even go over there? Oh, I was going to go to my the Hazlitt game, but there was rain. So I ended up going to my parents for no reason. So then I came back home Friday. What did I do Friday night? I think I just played some games, didn't do anything crazy. Saturday, went over to my parents again, and me and my dad put some floors in. That took a long time, but we got done earlier than I thought, so I was able to make it home and watch the Michigan game at my own house. Watched the game and then kind of just went to bed because Sunday was an early wake up. Went to the Lions game. We left at like 9. Got to the parking lot, pounded some beers. I was actually like surprisingly drunk when we got to the stadium because I shotgunned like 2 beers and then chugged some others. And then when we got to the stadium, we went and checked out our seats first. Pretty nice seats. My dad got them free from work. They were in the club section, so they were leather. Nice and big, like a movie theater seat. Obviously, the Lions won the game. They played amazing. Hit a couple bets. One was on the way home. We'll talk about it later. Frankie and I both hit it. We were both ecstatic, but we'll talk about that when we get to NFL. Then got home Sunday night. I don't know what did I do Sunday night when I got back. Oh, I went over to Sid's and watched the Sunday night game over there, and then that was my weekend. So. Locks and Longshots now. I am 45, 37, and 1 on my locks. I got a push last week with the Florida Vandy under 52. They hit 52 exactly. Vandy put up 14, surprisingly. And let me double check that, actually. I don't know if I ever saw that game go final.
Yeah, no, it was a push.
14.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, yep, got the push there. And then Oregon State and Cal, holy shit, talk about a great over. I think they scored 90 total.
I'm pretty sure Oregon State hit it by themselves.
Yeah, I think it was like 51 to 40 something.
Yeah.
So easy over there, no sweat at all. And then obviously still waiting on Wisconsin over 8.5 wins. But they keep winning. Not in a good way, but they win. So this week, 49ers minus 5.5 against the Browns. It's in Cleveland. This is probably a trap. The Browns defense is very good, and the 49ers, like I keep saying, they haven't played anybody. And the Cowboys offense, to me, is bad. Dak is bad, but he's played bad teams and looked good. So I'm riding with the 49ers here. I think Brock Purdy is actually a good quarterback, and it's time we admit that. And the 49ers defense is so good. Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, and that's all you need to say, really. It's crazy how good that defense is.
I was going to say, I think your take about the 49ers not being as good as they look is outrageous. But
I'm going back on that take now, though. That's what I'm doing.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
They're a good team. They still haven't played anybody, in my opinion, though, because the Cowboys looked like shit. But
yeah, but I think they looked like shit because the Niners are that good.
Because the Niners are so good. Right, that's what I'm thinking, too. So, by the way, I forgot to mention it in the weekend recap. My voice sounds like shit right now from the Lions game, so I apologize for that, but there's nothing we can do about it. We move. So, yeah, we're going to hammer the 49ers minus 5.5. This is going to go up to 6.5, 7.5 by the time the game starts. It's Sunday at 1. And Deshaun is banged up. He might not play. So, I love this line. That's my lock of the week for sure. But if it doesn't hit, just know that I did say it might be a trap. Long shots now. 28, 46, and 1. Probably positive, honestly, in terms of if you're actually placing these. I don't think anybody does, so we don't have to worry about that. I'm getting ready to count Gibbs' Offensive Rookie of the Year as an L just because he's not getting the usage I wanted to see out of him, and he didn't play last week. So, but I'm going to leave it for now. You never know. So last week I said parlay both locks. I'm counting that as a W because we got a push there. If you did place this, you would have gotten money back in your account, so I'm counting it as a win. So it would have been a small win, though, because one of the lines was a push, so you basically just bet Oregon State Cal over.
Cal, yeah.
So this week, I like the Dodgers to make the NLCS. I don't actually like this. Let me take that back. I'm taking this in support of our friend who's a Dodgers fan. He was down bad last night. The Dodgers have looked really bad. Kershaw got lit up. Not really surprised. Playoff Kershaw, we've seen it before. But at plus 450, you got to take the Dodgers. I mean, the Diamondbacks, they're a good team, but they've used Gallen. Who pitched the first game? Did Kelly?
I honestly don't know. I didn't watch that game.
Gallen was amazing last night, though. The Dodgers have some offense going. They had a couple situations, bases loaded, one out. They didn't score. Their bats are going. They're still the Dodgers. Plus 450, I feel good taking this, and we'll know next week if this hits or not.
It was Merrill Kelly.
There you go. So now the Dodgers are going to win the next two and back in L.A. for Game 5. Your locks and long shots. Go.
All right. So my locks, I am still waiting on Wisconsin as well. Last week I had the Ravens-Steelers under 38.5. That was a dub. That was the most Ravens-Steelers game I've watched in a long time. I had Packers minus 1.5. They lost. And then I had the Brewers to win the wild card. They got swept. That was a rough week for me there. This week, though, I'm going a little bit different here. I have kind of looked at my strategy and just found out that I'm not taking bets that I would actually take. So I'm going to start taking more things that I would actually take here, both in my locks and my long shots. So this week for my locks, I'm going a parlay with the 49ers, the Chiefs, and the Eagles money lines. I think that is pretty self-explanatory. 3 of the top probably 4 teams in the entire NFL just to win. Don't even need to cover points. None of the 3 teams are really playing anybody that tough. I guess you could argue that the Niners against the Browns could be tough, but we have already talked about that a little bit. And then I'm taking Oregon, Washington over 67.5. I see this just being an absolute shootout. You have number 7 versus number 8. It's going to be, I think it's a midday game too. And last time we saw Oregon play a decent opponent, they put up 42 points. And my spreadsheet has this projected at 101 total points, both teams scoring in the 50s. So I love the over for this game. I just want this game to be an absolute shootout. And then for my last lock, I'm going Wisconsin minus 9.5. I would have taken this all the way up to 10. It was at 10. It's dropped down to 9.5. They aren't covering against teams, which is kind of frustrating. But we're playing Iowa in Wisconsin, and Iowa doesn't have Cade McNamara. I get this is probably going to be a defensive shootout, but our offense has looked better. And I trust our defense to stop a second-string quarterback. So that's where I'm going with on locks. For long shots...
hang on, before you go.
Go.
I just looked at the college football slate for the first time. There are so many good games, and I'm going to be flying back from South Carolina, and I'm pissed.
Yep.
Wisconsin-Iowa is going to be one of my favorite games because it's going to be punt, 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 punt. And then I think Wisconsin pulls away. I like that 9.5 there. But holy shit, I didn't realize Oregon was playing Washington at 3:30. That's going to be an amazing game.
Notre Dame, USC.
Notre Dame, Miami, North Carolina, UCLA, Oregon State. Oh my gosh. What a bad day to have a flight.
Yes.
Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Long shots. Packers to win the North, Braves to lose in the NLDS, and the Bijan Rookie of the Year all still open. Another bad week for me on long shots. I had Texans money line. They could not pull that out. And then the Brewers to make the NLCS. Obviously, they did not do that. This week, though, I'm going Rashee Rice to score a touchdown on Thursday night against the Broncos. I believe it's like 240, plus 240. Rashee Rice just keeps getting more and more targets. I think he's going to eventually become the wide receiver 1 here, and he's a rookie, so I think he might kind of be a mainstay for Kansas City. So I like that, especially against the bad Broncos defense. I'm taking Phillies to win the NLDS 3-2. This is like plus 340. I see this series going 5 games no matter what, but I like the Phillies. I don't know if you saw Orlando Arcia's comment yesterday.
I did.
After Bryce Harper got thrown out for the double play to end game 2, Orlando Arcia was basically parading around the clubhouse, just saying, way to go, Bryce, whatever. That's going to light a fire under the Phillies' ass. I think Bryce Harper hits a nuke tomorrow when they play. So today when you're listening to this. Almost threw that on there, but I didn't. Anyways, I like the Phillies. And then I'm taking USC moneyline versus Notre Dame. I just think Notre Dame has struggled lately. So has USC, but I trust USC's offense more than I trust Notre Dame's offense. So
that game is going to be so
awesome.
Confusing. I have no idea what to expect from that game. USC almost lost on Saturday to Arizona. Notre Dame
huge bounce back game coming.
Lost. Notre Dame lost, right?
Yeah.
Who did they play?
Louisville.
And it's like, I don't know. That game's going to be interesting, though. It could be fun. USC's offense is great. Their defense is just so fucking bad. It's horrible.
Yep.
What was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, I forgot to mention in my long shots, I did place a future in quotes, Phillies to win it all, plus 700 I got it at. Red October. Go hop on that. Not going to make it an official play because I already placed the bet, so I don't really care to do it. But, yeah,
they are the second
those comments,
favorite
I think
right now.
the Phillies are going to... Huh?
They are the second favorite right now behind the Rangers.
They're playing great ball. Last night they choked. They left Wheeler out there a little bit too long. But after those comments, I think they're going to use that and fucking City of Brotherly Love, motherfucker, beat their ass. So, in the interest of time, we decided we're going to kind of skip over MLB this week. I know it's playoffs. I apologize. It's my fault for having a flight. I did want to give you a chance, if you want to talk about your Brewers and vent whatever you need to say. And then other than that, we will be doing a big ol' MLB section next week. But for now, we're going to have to skip.
I don't have a ton to say. It was a very disappointing series. I think if there was a list of things that we should do this offseason, I think the first thing we have to do is let Craig Counsell walk, unfortunately. I think he's been a great manager, but I think after 9 years he's been there now, I think it might be time for a change. Granted, we've made the playoffs 5 of the last 6 years and whatever, and we've made the playoffs however many times in the last 10 years since he's been there, but we haven't won anything Like, we don't have anything to show for it. He's 1-7 in his last 8 postseason games. We can't get out of the first round. And I think it really comes down to Craig. He's a great regular season manager, but he's not a good postseason manager. I also would like to see us trade Burns. It's probably a very controversial and hot take, but I think he's so high on a pedestal that I think we could get so much for him, and we have strength in pitching. We have the prospects in pitching. What we need is a bat. We've always had pitching. Like, that is always our strength. We're always top of the league in pitching. But we never have a guy who can hit, and that is always what kills us come the postseason. So I think our big move this offseason, we need to go get a big bat. I know Pete Alonso's been talked about. I'd be fine with doing Corbin Burns for Pete Alonso, straight up. Give us a slugger.
Mets don't take that.
I honestly think they might. They have the hitting prospects.
Yeah.
I don't know. If it's not a trade.
Didn't some bridges get burned in the arbitration?
Yeah, and I'm afraid that that's probably going to come up again this year because he's still in arbitration. So after giving up 4 runs in Game 1 of the Wild Card series, I'm sure that's probably going to get brought up again. And the Bridges are just going to get torched again. So I don't think Burns is really going to want to be here, but I hope he doesn't make that public. And I hope we can get as much as we possibly can for him if we decide to move him. So we'll see. I really hope we go out and get Mark DeRosa as a manager. That would be my top choice, especially after he managed Team USA. I just think he'd be a great manager. Otherwise, there's been some talks about us getting the Braves hitting coach as a manager. That would be phenomenal as well. So we'll see.
All right.
I'm excited for the rest of the playoffs.
Me too. And the playoffs, they have been fun to watch so far. A little bit lackluster. A lot of sweeps. Every single wild card round was a sweep. But the DS is heating up just a little bit. But like I said, we'll talk about it next week just in the interest of time because we know we're going to talk about football for a while. So let's get into some college football. This will be quick as well. Michigan cruised over Minnesota. There's nothing to say there. It was a little bit close at halftime, but they pulled it out. Starters got pulled in the fourth quarter. PJ Fleck after the game was like, yeah, Michigan's as advertised. They're a very good team. And it was nice to get some glazing from them, because Michigan doesn't get glazing from ESPN. It's all over Colorado. They're busting their load all over Dion, and Michigan doesn't get any of it, Sometimes we need a little bit, but that's all right. I don't need it. We'll see it. We'll get it in the playoffs when we fucking win it all. Then you'll glaze. So I've got a take. It's not hot at all. Wisconsin is just mid. Like, they are going to win the West because the West is bad, and your only competition just tore his ACL last week. And they beat Rutgers by, what was it, 10? Or 12? They didn't cover.
11.
11. That's what it was. So I just, at home versus Rutgers, you got to blow that team out. But they keep winning, and they could hit her over. So I can't wait for the Ohio State-Wisconsin game. That's going to be a fun thing to see. Maryland just hung around with Ohio State for a while in Ohio State. So it'll be interesting. But, yeah, as of right now, Wisconsin is just middle of the pack. They're a good team, not a great team. I hope they get to 9 wins.
I'll agree with that. And, I mean, it makes sense. There's a lot of big changes going on. I think they're still adjusting a little bit and just like trying to learn with each other. Obviously, I'd like to see some quicker improvement, especially being that it is now week 7 that we'll be going into. I don't know. I mean, I think this team can be really good. I just don't think this is the year for it. I mean, that's kind of what we expected. So I'm okay being mid this year and being great next year. So
looking at the rest of their schedule, they are, in my opinion, very likely to get to 9 wins for us. They've got Iowa this week. I think that's a W. Illinois looks bad. They just lost to Nebraska. So that's 2. Ohio State, that could be. I hope it is. I'm going to be rooting for Wisconsin hard that game, but we'll count it as a loss. But then you've got Indiana, Northwestern, Nebraska, and Minnesota. So I think they're going to get 9 wins. I think they could even go 10-2. I think they lose to Ohio State and win out.
Did you see the thing on on Twitter that came out where it showed all the teams in the Big Ten, their conference schedule over like the next 5 years?
No, but I did see Michigan has a ridiculous schedule the next 5 years.
Well, so does Wisconsin, actually. Wisconsin in 2025, we have in conference. Oh, I'm a little off-centered here. Trying to get to it. So in conference, we play Minnesota, Northwestern, Rutgers, UCLA. I believe that is away games. Those are away games, yes. Home games, Illinois, Iowa, Michigan State, Ohio State, USC. Plus we have Bama.
Oof.
And then in 26, we have Bama and Notre Dame. And I believe we have Oregon, USC, and Ohio State.
Hey, hot take, though. Nick Saban will not be coaching Alabama in 2025.
That's a fair take. That's a very valid take.
Yep. I saw Michigan. Like, obviously, everybody in the Big Ten is going to have real tough schedules because Michigan scheduled Texas or Oklahoma or Texas, one of the two, a long, long time ago. And I think that starts in 25, a home and away. And then you've also got USC, Oregon. Don't forget about UCLA. They're a good team. Washington. Like, the Big Ten is going to get flipped on its fucking head. So
Big Ten is going to be great.
It's going to be a lot of fun football, but I'm scared for it because I don't think Michigan will be this powerhouse anymore because they're going to lose some games. But with a 12-team playoff, we could be okay. So let's cruise through the rest of our college football so we can get to NFL because there's something that we really want to tell you guys about. We're super pumped about it. First off, we got to spend some time here. What the fuck was Miami doing? What in the fuck? How do you explain that? For those that didn't see, Miami's up 3 points with 38 seconds left in the game. It's like 3rd and 9, and Georgia Tech has no timeouts, and Miami decides to run the ball up the middle, not take a knee. Why would you take a knee and win the game automatically? They run the ball up the middle. Of course, the running back fumbles, and then Georgia Tech drives down the field and scores on a 50-yard touchdown as time expires to win the game. Miami loses. What in the world? How do you defend that?
So, bad decision, but did you happen to see the video angle where the running back was down?
Yeah, so my thing about that is yes, he might have been down. It was reviewed. It was a close play. They went with the call on the field. But you know how you avoid all that, the close calls and the review?
Just
you kneel the ball, you win the game. I mean, I do not feel bad for Miami at all. I am not like, wow, that was a bad call. I don't give a shit. Kneel that ball, you win the game. And I did see that the running back had like 98 yards or something like that. So people think he was trying to get him 100 yards, and that is still so dumb.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck about stats? You're an undefeated team. Make a push for the playoff, man. You're Miami. You could be back.
Also,
and they just sold.
They did it in the sweet Miami Knights jerseys too.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the jerseys, but those things are sweet. So sad that you had to lose in those.
When I saw that play, I had to rewatch it 47 times because I'm like, what is the point? Like, there has been time and time again where this was proven to not be a thing. And I checked the clock. I had to double take on the clock. I had to double take on the down and distance. I was like, wow, there's no defense for it.
Well, and now they have to play UNC this week. And I think UNC is going to obliterate them.
UNC looks like a very good football team.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fuck Miami. That was a dumb thing. Oh, I forgot to mention, he did this once before at Oregon. I saw it on ESPN last night. In 2018, he did the same thing. Yeah, he did the same thing 2018, and they lost the game. He could have kneeled the ball and won it, and he ran it on 2nd down. And that one was different, though. The other team still had a timeout, but if he did the math, he still could have downed it, timeout, down it again, and then he would have had to run one of those, like, 4th down plays where you run a little bit, then throw.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think Cristobal might be a little bit of an overrated coach. I think he's a great defensive coach, but I don't know. Like, he did lead Oregon to being really good. Now he's doing this with Miami to make them really good. But he just makes some boneheaded decisions. It's like, dude, what are you doing?
I think it's time that we there needs to be an investigation, first of all. He either had Georgia Tech spread, no, because they would have covered. So he either had his running backs prop or live bet Georgia Tech money line, or there had to be some betting happening there. That is crazy.
It's the only thing that makes sense.
I think the most logical explanation is he wanted his running back to get 100 yards, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life because he probably already has 3 times this year. They had some bum opponents early in the year. So,
yep.
Other news, Texas is not back. They lost to Oklahoma. That game was a lot of fun, though, to watch.
That was the most fun I've had watching a college football game all year.
Disagree. LSU Ole Miss was more fun.
I think there was more hype around this game, though, that made it more fun. And it was higher ranked teams.
Yeah, but LSU Ole Miss was just touchdown.
Yeah, but this is the Red River rivalry.
Isn't
this the last one?
Rivalry. Yeah, no, because they're on the SEC.
Oh,
so they'll probably play again. I feel like that'll also be a protected rivalry. Kind of like
it better
if Michigan
be.
left the Big Ten, they're probably still going to play Ohio State. But, yeah, Texas, I think we have to say they're not back because they're not going to make the playoff anymore. But they do look like a good team. It's going to be exciting when Archie Manning gets called up and finally gets to play. I think he's going to be a great quarterback. But Oklahoma was just the better team today, or Saturday.
I disagree with the Manning take, but that's fine.
You don't think he's going to be great?
Nope, I think he's overhyped just because of the name.
Well, we won't know for like fucking 2 years because he's a freshman. They got him third on the depth chart right now. But I think Quinn's gone after this year, right? Or does he have one more?
Quinn is a sophomore.
Oh, fuck. So another year. So, hey, Texas might be back next year. Get another year for Quinn Ewers.
That's the thing, too, is like he's a great quarterback.
He's fun to watch, too. And, like, Texas beat Bama, and it was like, wow, this is it. Like, Texas is back. And they lose to Oklahoma, and they've still got some tough games on the schedule. I think they'll be a 2-loss team.
It was shocking to see both of these teams have a good defense.
Yeah, I agree.
I was just expecting like a 50 to barely. I think it was 62, and they finished 64 or something like that. Mm-hmm. But like I was expecting like a 40-something to 50-something game.
So does the Big 12 do it just top 2 in the conference make the championship? Is that how they do it? They must because they don't have divisions. So Texas is tied for 3rd. West Virginia's above them. They're going to lose again, though. So we could get a Texas-Oklahoma rematch in the Big 12 championship. That would be fun.
I wouldn't say Texas is out of the college football playoff then. If they go undefeated and win the Big 12 championship.
Yeah, it's going to come down to the Pac-12 and then Michigan, Penn State, Ohio State.
Yeah.
Bama's still going to hang around too. They haven't looked good, but they're only a 1-loss team and they've got an easy schedule.
Nah, Bama's dead.
If Bama makes the championship, plays Georgia and wins that game, Georgia and Bama both get into the playoff. And we're right back to where we fucking were for the last 7
Bama's
years.
dead.
I'd like to declare
Speaking
that.
of
I need
Bama,
one more loss out of them. Yeah, Bama played A&M on Saturday. Great segue, by the way. We both had Bama spread. I believe it was -2.5. A&M should have won that game. They elected to – what were they down? They were down 10 or 9? They were down 9.
Or
no, at the end of the game there when they kicked that field goal. I think they were down 9.
Oh, yeah.
So, first of all, A&M got to like the 2, and then Alabama stood them up, got them to 4th and goal from the 2. Me and Franke are pissed because we have Bama spread, and college football was a bad day for me. But Bama stopped them. A&M kicked the field goal, tried to get the onside kick. Bama got it back, and they ran out the clock. So that was awesome. That was one of those like miracle spread hits that shouldn't have happened. I think A&M had the field goal is a smart play though. You're down 9, so the touchdown does nothing for you. You still got to go for the onside kick. Honestly though, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking A&M should have went for it because even if you don't, so you get it touchdown, great. You're still onside kicking. If you don't, you have them on the 2, go all out to get the safety, cut it to 7, and then you get the ball back automatically.
Yeah.
Because you can't kneel it from the 2.
That's true.
I'm thinking they should have went for it there. Damn. The only other college football thing I think we need to talk about, we said North Carolina is very good. They're fun to watch. Drake May, Heisman conversation. USC, though, they went to triple overtime with Arizona at home. And they are I am out on USC. Great offense, one of the best offenses in the nation, but their defense is so bad it would get blown out by Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State. I think Wisconsin would fucking make it competitive with them, if I'm being honest with you.
I mean, to be a 20.5-point favorite and go to triple overtime,
At home,
not a good
too.
look.
At home.
Yeah. And I don't know, like, I agree their offense is fantastic. I don't think I don't know. Like, I watched the end of this game and I just didn't know what to think. Like, Arizona didn't look bad, and maybe it's just Arizona played up to their opponent for once and USC played down to their opponent for once. But I mean, we knew USC's defense was bad.
Right. We've been saying that since week one.
It's just a question of, can the offense continue to carry them, or are they just not going to be good?
We'll have to see. They still have some tough games. They got Notre Dame this week, and they've got to play. Still got to play Washington too. So we'll see. It's gonna the end of the season is gonna be so fun with the playoff. It's gonna be a lot of like, oh, what if this team wins? What happens with these teams? And oh, what if this team loses? I can't wait for it.
I agree.
Any other college football out of you before we get into NFL?
No.
All right. NFL, I want to start with your parlay. I'm calling it your parlay even though you didn't make it. So, story time, Saturday night, I'm playing video games. I'm watching Michigan. And was it Saturday night or Friday night?
I think it was Saturday.
Let me see. I can actually see when I placed the bet. Anywho, Franke sends a parlay in our group chat, and it is just ridiculous. I think I looked at this thing and scoffed, right? Let's see. I placed it October 7th. So, Friday. So you send it Friday night. I'm playing video games. I think I was drinking. So that's the only reason I placed this bet. So the bet was David Montgomery 100-plus rushing yards. By the way, Frankie found this on Twitter and sent it in our group chat. I don't know if I already said that. Montgomery 100-plus rushing yards. Devin, is it A-Chain? How do you say it?
Devon A-Chan.
Okay. A-Chan, 100-plus rushing yards, which was plus 700, which is kind of crazy because he hit it 2 games before that. Breece Hall, 100-plus rushing yards as well. 3-leg parlay at, let me do the math here, 126 to 1 odds. And we placed it, and it fucking smacked. So A-Chain had, or A-Chan. Say it again. A-Chan. He had 100-plus in, like, the first half. Montgomery had 75 or 80 at half, and he ended up with 109. So then we got to the 4 o'clock game. Breece Hall was playing at 425. Let me set the scene for you. I'm riding home from the Lions game. We stopped for some food at Five Guys, and at halftime, Breece Hall had, like, 30 yards?
I think it was in the 40s.
40s? He had 2 big runs at the end of the half. He had like a 16-yarder and I think like a 20-yarder because he was at like 6 yards or something.
Almost broke him off.
Yep. And then we're sitting there eating. My dad's got the game on, and he just goes, Jake. Boom. Breece Hall, 72-yard rushing touchdown.
Second play of the second half.
126 to 1. I also bet 25 to 1. I took A-Chan. I'm just gonna say A-Chain because it's awesome. I took his regular over at 50.5 because that was the only one I was worried about. So I double bet that there. I hit a 25 to 1 and the 126 to 1, and then I also added in McCaffrey 100+. So I got a Sunday night sweat out of it. He ended with like 51 yards. That one was 200 to 1. So I was really rooting hard for that one, but. Big fucking hit for the boys. This was so thrilling. The first thing I did, I jump up in Five Guys, obviously. High five my dad, high five my brother, whatever. And then I run outside and I call you because I was like, holy shit.
Legacy game out of all 3.
Just an all-time. Yeah, I mean, this shit should not have hit. Montgomery 100 plus was the lowest odds. I think it was like plus 150. He was, Gibbs was out, so I was very confident in that one. Breece Hall was limited all season, and they finally said they're taking off the caution tape, and they're going to let him cook. And then A-Chain was plus 700. He's a backup running back, but I'll tell you what, he got hurt, but he's the feature back now, and I almost bought his jersey because that was the one where I was like, this shit ain't hit.
He is awesome. He is so fast. It is
If he
insane.
can stay healthy, he's going to be Miami's running back for the next 4 years until he inevitably falls out of the league for some reason.
Yes, I agree.
So that was an awesome hit out of the boys. Almost makes up for what the hell was that one?
The Bills?
Yeah.
Bills Dolphins touchdown parlay?
Yeah, was that 1,000 to 1?
It was something crazy. I don't remember exactly what it was. $25 for 15,000. I know that.
No, it was 25 for 25,000.
No, 25 for 15.
Nope.
Trust me, I don't ever forget that one.
Trust me, I will find the screenshot. It's 25 for 25,000 because I said, wow, if you put 5 on this, it was 5,000. I'll find it. You know what? I'm going to find it while we're talking. So, yeah, just an awesome hit from the boys. So, overreaction of the week. My overreaction is that we're going to hit another one of those this year.
All right. I'm down for that.
I'm not saying exactly the same, but I'm going to hit another 100 to 1 at some point this year. Yeah, I feel it, man. This is our football season. This hit was so awesome, man. Just on the way home, great Sunday for your boy. Lions game.
It's
Lions
been a
dub,
blast so far.
So, all right. Why don't you? Well, first off, I guess I'll talk or go with your overreaction of the week while I try to find this parlay.
Well, so I can go with my overreaction right into my rant if you want.
Go ahead.
So my overreaction of the week is that Lions fans and Cowboys fans are the exact same, and there is no difference between the two. So I'll keep it a little bit nice here.
25 into 17.5 thousand.
See, so I was basically right. 25
yeah, it was closer to yours than mine. Can you repeat your overreaction? I wasn't listening. I was looking for that bet.
Yeah, sure. I said my overreaction is that Lions fans and Cowboys fans are the exact same, and there's no difference between the two.
Wow. Okay. And let me hear why, and then I'll rebuttal.
So, Cowboys fans are always saying, like, this is our year, this is our year, this is our year. They get hyped when they start winning. They think they're better than everyone.
Pause. I have not once said this year, this is our year.
That's not what I'm saying.
No, you just said.
That's what I said Cowboys fans say.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
So, damn, now you got me all shaken up here.
Got to throw you off.
Cowboys fans always just think that it's their year, whatever. Lions fans have not done that. They've never really had anything to cheer about. It's always been bad. All of a sudden, they start getting good, and it is just disrespect to every team out there. And I fully get being hyped for your team. There is everybody does it, every team has it. But there's a point of being hyped and being cocky and just like, what's the word I want to say? It starts with an I. I don't know. I can't think of the word. Ignorant. That's what I was going to say.
Okay.
Because, yes, your team is fun and exciting. And guess what? Everybody thinks that the America's team is the Cowboys. And Lions fans think that the new America's team is the Lions. But the Lions have not had anything to cheer about for longer than I have been alive. Anybody that I know that is a Lions fan, just let me keep going. Everybody that I know that is a Lions fan has not had a lifetime where they have had a handful of exciting seasons. The Lions have not won anything in my lifetime, in most Lions lifetimes. So for me to sit here in a, I don't want to say rebuilding, but a learning year for the Packers, and for Lions fans to be shitting on the Packers when we fully knew this was a learning year, I don't understand
because
most
10-7.
Yeah, but my realistic expectations were that this was going to be a learning year, and yeah, we were going to have struggles, and I wasn't going to be mad if things didn't go well. Things are not going great right now. Things don't look great. But me personally, I have never shit on the Lions unless we are playing them. And I know a handful of Lions fans, most of them you also know, who continually shit on the Packers week in and week out. And I personally don't understand it because A, we have a Super Bowl. The Lions do not. B, we have made the playoffs more than I have fingers since I've been alive. The Lions probably can't count to what, 2, 3 on that hand? And there's never been hate for Packers fans towards Lions. Like there's never been a reason to disrespect them. It's just whatever. And now all of a sudden the Lions win 3 games against the Packers and they think they're all high and mighty and can just fucking beat anyone. And it's pissing me the fuck off.
Can I rebuttal yet?
Go ahead.
You are taking what a couple people are like and projecting it to every Lions fan, and that's unfair.
That's what Lions fans are also doing.
What?
That's what Lions fans are also doing for the Packers after the whole Amon-Ra thing and all that
I'm just
shit,
saying,
but
the reason I fucking hate the Packers is partially because of you, and when the Packers beat the Lions and I had to go through all your shit talking, but the main reason is Aaron Rodgers, and it's unlucky for you that your former quarterback is such a douchebag, and I'm doing all this alternative medicine, but the real reason we hate Aaron Rodgers is because he was such a fucking good quarterback and he dominated us for so long. So I hate the Packers because for my whole life, if I saw the Packers on the schedule, I was like, fuck, probably gonna lose today. But you're projecting it out to every Lions fan. I'd say 94% of Lions fans are not what you're describing. We are like, me personally, I am like, holy shit, I don't know what the fuck to do. Like, we're actually a good team, and it's scary as fuck because I'm going to get hurt. But I'm not out here. The person you're talking about is doing it because he knows it gets under your skin. And, yeah, he's being a douche. And then you got a couple that are riding the coattails of it, but it's to get under your skin, and you're letting it happen. You need to just let it go. Because
it's just frustrating because, like, I've never had a team.
Well, now you know.
I shouldn't say never.
You know what
I shouldn't
it's
say
like.
never.
Now you know how I felt when we went to B-Dubs on that Monday night, and you know why our friend was screaming at you in the car. You know the emotions he was feeling that night because it's now happening to you.
I will say the emotions are definitely there this year because, like, I'm not gonna say that I'm mad at the Packers and like that our team sucks. I don't think we suck. I think that this team is good and we're built for the future. I think it's just a learning process, and so for me to go from playoff after playoff after playoff every year to a learning and growing phase is just very different.
You're coping because you don't know how to deal with the pain of being a bad team. The Packers are bad, I'll say it. You're rebuilding. Jordan Love's young. I don't think he's the guy, but there's a reason to believe in him. Like, he's shown flashes, but he's also shown some what the fuck are you doing, like that pick last night. But
yeah, that was bad.
What you're going through is what I've gone through for years and years and years because, like, Lions 0-16, the media just shit all over them. Matt Patricia, we got shit all over. Living with you for 3 years, I got shit all over. I don't think the Lions beat the Packers when we lived together. No, they did once. They did once, and it was a backup quarterback, so I couldn't even talk shit because it was a fucking backup. So,
yeah.
You just like you're used to like playoffs. Aaron Rodgers like gonna make a run this year, and you don't know how to deal with a couple people talking shit because they know it's getting under your skin. But that's why it's difficult. An overreaction. You gotta stop projecting it to everybody because I'm not like that. Like you said, I talked a lot of shit when they were playing the Packers, and then the week after or so. But since then, admit it, I haven't said anything.
I will agree with that. I will say go ahead.
I was gonna say I feel like the last 2 weeks I've bet on the Packers. I've taken them in Paige's picks. Like I thought they were going to be okay. Like, they competed against the Lions.
Yeah.
But, you're taking what I think two people, my father and somebody else in our fantasy league, I think. I know the one for
pretty
sure.
much.
Like, it's just those two. My dad does it because he knows it fucks with your head. And you got to just not respond. If you don't respond, he'll stop. And even if he doesn't.
Most of the time, it doesn't get me. It's when the random ones come out that, like, have nothing to do with anything that's going on. I'm like, why are we doing this right now? That's when that's when it bothers me.
Today, the woke up or whatever because the Packers lost, that one was like.
But okay. I do seriously think that some Lions fans are starting to get to a Cowboys fan level, and
I can guarantee
personally,
you that I will never be like a Cowboys fan.
No, I'm not. I'm not saying you, but I think some Lions fans are getting almost too hyped by this team, and it's a little scary because coming from a person who has watched a team be successful and then just crash, that shit hurts way more than anything. So I'm just putting this out there as a warning for Lions fans that are listening. Your team is fun. Your team is good. Just don't get too deep into it.
I'll tell you this. I see it too. There are Lions fans out. There's like I don't even want to say the true fans because they're all true fans. Like, we've been through some bullshit. Like, nobody's hopping on a bandwagon. I mean, there's probably some bandwagoners, but at the game, there was a whole lot of, like, Super Bowl bound and blah, blah. I'm like, dude, chill the fuck out. Can we win a playoff game first, then start thinking about it? Like, make the playoffs first of all. Like, it's the NFL, man. We're one injury away from going under 500. If Jared Goff, that's me knocking on wood, if he gets hurt, we're under 500, and it's a fucking another painful year. So Lions fans need to fucking pump the brakes. We're an awesome team, but we've had a lot of injuries. We've lost a lot of defensive guys. Gardner Johnson, Mosley just tore his ACL on Sunday. Hutchinson almost had his knee blown out. Did you see that play?
I did not.
On his pick, first of all, sick-ass pick, one-handed, reaching back. He saw the screen coming. Amazing. But he's not a running back, so he doesn't know to scan the field to watch for the hits coming in. So he's looking at the end zone, and I want to say it was one of the receivers of the Panthers, dove in, tried to took him out of his legs. Not a dirty hit. Like, he's a big dude. You got to go at the legs. And Hutchinson was planting his right leg, so when he got hit, his knee bent in, but his foot was still planted. And I don't know how he didn't blow out his ACL. It looked like it should have been really bad. But that's all I'm saying, man, is we are one injury away from being bad.
And the defense looks okay, but I'm still a little bit worried about the Lions defense. Like, I don't think they're that good. Like, you guys did just allow Bryce Young to throw for 3 touchdowns and like 270 yards. But
okay, first of all, 2 picks. One of the touchdowns was garbage time, so I would argue it was 2 touchdowns. But I don't like that. I don't like giving up garbage time because then it allows you to do this. Like, we played fucking amazing on Sunday. The defense looked great, and the offense looks great. It's just the injuries are piling up so much. Like, every week there's a new big one. You know, so
the Packers are getting the same thing right now.
But I agree that some Lions fans go over the top. My dad does this too. Like, every year for the past, I want to say 7 years, every year, like, leading up to the season, he somehow convinces himself, like, this Lions team is going to do it. We're going to win a playoff game. And I'm like, Dad, like, we're bad. And this year, honestly, he didn't do it, though. It's just been, we're a good team.
I mean, that's like me with the Brewers, though. I do the same thing. I thought we were terrible, like, all year. And I was like, this team isn't going to do much. And then all of a sudden, a week before playoffs, I was like, holy shit, like, we got a chance to make a real run here. 2 games later, we're fucking dead in the water.
That's the thing is that the Lions look great. They're winning a lot of games. Their schedule is favorable. We got Tampa Bay this weekend, and then we got a little rough patch with the Ravens and another good team I don't remember. The Ravens, they're banged up and can't catch the ball, though. We'll get into that. But if they make the playoffs, I already know that I'm going to fully convince myself that we should win this game. And then if they lose, it's going to hurt more than any other loss I've ever experienced in my life. Like, Michigan's made the college football playoff twice now. They looked shitty in both. and a Lions loss, like the Lions have always been my biggest team, so that one's gonna hurt so much more. Like it would almost hurt to the point where I wouldn't be able to come on this podcast.
Yikes.
I don't know. I definitely probably still would, but I would be so fucking hurt. It would be a major change in energy. But, yep, that's all I got to say about the Lions. Offense is cooking on all cylinders. I was disappointed that the one game I'm going to go to this year, Amon-Ra was out and so was Gibbs. But I got to see Montgomery absolutely cook. Josh Reynolds was great. Dude.
And you made money off of Montgomery, so.
I made money off of Montgomery. I bet I had Lions team total over that hit. I bet their team total points bracket 31-40. That was a big hit. And then I had their spread minus 23.5. And as Carolina was marching down the field there, I cashed it out for profit, and they scored a touchdown and covered the 23.5. So felt great about that one. Go ahead with your Packers if you want, and then we'll kind of fly through the rest of this Paige's picks and send you guys on your way.
I'll keep it quick. Jordan Love didn't look good. Packers still banged up, continuing to get more banged up. Quay Walker got injured. Devontae Campbell was out. Aaron Jones was out again. Bakhtiari is done for the year, which I hope we just fucking cut his ass. I'm sick of that dude. I think I said that at the beginning of the year, too, that I hope we just trade him.
So, yeah.
Let's see. Who else got injured? I think there was more injuries, but we just continue to get banged up. The play calling was atrocious. I think it might be time to look at our head coach. I
really
like Matt LaFleur, but I don't think he's the right coach for the system now. I think he was great system fit with Rodgers, but I think Rodgers and Love are just such different quarterbacks that it's a completely different system, and it's just not working. So I think we might have to look into that soon. And then I've been shitting on the defense every week and saying that we need to get a new defensive coordinator. I'm pretty sure I've been saying that since last year. There was some stuff on Twitter that was saying how the Packers defense looked better tonight and that like Joe Barry is actually a good defensive coordinator. He's not. We just played a bad offense and we lined up Preston Smith on Devontae Adams from the 15-yard line. Not sure what the fuck we were thinking there. We also decided to play soft coverage, giving the wide receiver 10 yards of space from the 10-yard line. That ended up in a touchdown. Just like boneheaded fucking mistakes, and it's so frustrating because I'm not used to seeing this. Like, the defense, we've consistently always had defensive issues, and we can never seem to find the right defensive coordinator. But Joe Barry, dude, he is quite possibly the worst defensive coordinator we've had in a long time, and Matt LaFleur's play calling is not making it any better. So that's all I have to say. I just hope that we win the bye week this week and come out healthy. Christian Watson did look good, I will say, other than the catch that he avoided.
Yeah, for a chance to win the game. I think Rodgers made LaFleur look good. I think you might be onto something there. Rodgers had LaFleur in his back pocket. Rodgers was probably calling the plays. So it'll be interesting to see what unfolds here in the next couple of years.
I think either in 2 years, LaFleur is going to be a offensive coordinator somewhere, or he will be without a job.
He should go to the college level. He'd be real good at the college level.
I think he would be a great college coach.
I do want to say you are my friend, and it sucks to see your team suck, but that team being the Packers brings me an immense amount of joy just because of what Rodgers did to me in the last 10 years of my life. Motor City Miracle type shit. So
that's fine.
But as my friend, I do feel bad for you. I hope the Packers figure it out, but I hope it's not until after the Lions at least win a playoff game. Because in my entire lifetime, guess what? Lions have never won a playoff game. I hope this is the year. All right, let's kind of fly through the rest of these here. I just took out a couple notes. There's nothing really nuts about this weekend.
Well, do you want to do what we did last week and just do the Paige's picks and talk about the games then?
We could. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that. That's probably the best way to do it. So, All right. Why are you placing bets while we're recording a podcast?
Well, I had to get in
before.
MLB. Yeah, it lost anyways in the first inning.
All right, let's get started. Paige's picks. Broncos at the Chiefs. The Chiefs won without Taylor Swift there. I hope her and Kelsey break up soon. And the Broncos, did they play or did they have a bye?
They had a... Yeah, who did they play last week?
I don't know. I need to pull up.
They played the Jets. They lost to the Jets 31-21.
Because
the Nathaniel Hackett revenge game.
Yep. Should have taken Jets money line. They were underdogs too, weren't they?
Yes, 2-point underdogs. Sean Payton, not a good coach for the Broncos. He needs to figure that shit out. Chiefs, I'm a little bit worried about Travis Kelce. That looked bad. I don't know if you saw the injury.
It did look bad. Here's what I think. I think you're playing the Broncos this week. Sit Kelsey.
I agree.
It's the Broncos. You can win very easily
and it's on
without
a short
him,
week.
I believe. Yeah, short week. Let him sit. Get a lot of bed rest with Taylor Swift. And, I think the Chiefs can still cover even in this game without Kelsey. So I think you let him rest
swiftly.
And avoid a bigger injury. Yeah, there you go. What's Paige got for this game?
Paige has Chiefs. That's all she said. I am also on the Chiefs.
Me too. No brainer. Move it on. Last week's London game, I forgot to mention, we hit our friend parlay. That was pretty nice to start the day for us. The Bills actually lost to the Jags. I think it has to do with travel. I mean, the Bills looked very slow. We were watching it on the way to Detroit. The Jaguars got to stay in London, got to get get used to the time there, and they beat the Bills. They controlled that game.
Yeah, until the end. I mean, they almost let it slip, but the game was more in control of the Jags the entire time.
This week, though, we've got Ravens at the Titans. Well, at the Titans in quotes. It's in London. Like you said, the Ravens-Steelers was probably exactly what we assumed. Defensive, nasty battle. The Ravens can't catch the ball. And then the Titans...
And they can't stay healthy.
Yeah, the Ravens are banged the fuck up. They are so hurt.
Paige
for your
says,
Super Bowl future.
Yeah, a little bit. Paige says, Titans are playing in London? Titans. I'm on the Ravens. I think they get a bounce-back game, even with the travel.
I'm taking the Titans. They are underdogs in this game, and last week they were favorites. They've lost every game they were favorited in this year, and they can catch the ball. They're finally getting Hopkins involved, so I think they pull out a win here, and the Ravens continue to slide.
Hopkins looked good.
Hopkins did look good, and I'm glad I got him in fantasy. Need him to heat up because I'm 1-4, and I don't want to give up. Seahawks Bengals. What happened there? The Bengals looked good. They won. Joe Burrow finally threw the ball. Chase went the fuck off. 180 yards, 3 touchdowns. After the game, he put on an Insta story just a picture of 7-Eleven because he's always open. That was badass.
Joe Burrow
Seahawks
finally healthy.
Joe Burrow does look good. The Seahawks had a bye, correct?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Go ahead. Paige's picks.
Paige says, I think the Seahawks because I feel like, and then she stopped because our Alexa started going off. She said, Alexa told us to get in bed so I can no longer participate. Then she said, I believe that the Bengals haven't been that good, haven't been able to watch much. So I think she's taking the Seahawks.
Yeah, that's a Seahawks pick, I believe.
I'm on the Bengals.
Me too. Joe Burrow finally looked good. Chase. I think
This
they're
is
going to start going on a run here. They're going to win 3-4 in a row.
This is a sneaky Seahawks grab a win here game, though. Like, coming off the bye.
Yeah, but it's just one of those. I trust Burrow more than I trust Geno, to be honest with you.
So do I, but I'm still a little worried.
Yep. Next game, Commanders-Falcons. Falcons, we talked about it. They won on a last-second field goal. Ritter finally had a good game, put up 300 yards.
So did Kyle
had a good
Pitts.
game too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Pitts had like 6 catches, 70 yards or something.
7 for 87.
Fun fact, Sam Laporta has the same amount of career touchdowns as Kyle Pitts.
Yep.
Isn't that crazy? Commanders looked like shit on Thursday against the Bears. The Bears got their first win of the year, and Justin Fields looks good. DJ Moore, 3 fucking touchdowns, a fuckload of yards. Bears looked good, but I still don't trust them.
Paige says Falcons are from Atlanta, and one of my classmates went to Atlanta this week, and she said it was cool. So she's taking Atlanta Falcons. Yep, I'm taking the Commanders. I think the defense looked bad for the Commanders, but the offense looked good. Sam Howell did throw for 388 yards. So, granted, it was the Bears. I think it'll be a low-scoring, tight, gross game. I'm taking the Commanders.
I'm going to take Atlanta just because I want to see them get going for our division winners parlay.
That's true.
And I think the Commanders are a bad team, and they fooled us by keeping it close with some good teams. Give me Atlanta at home. Colts and Jags. Jags, we said they won in London. Colts beat the Titans.
Anthony Richardson out for a couple weeks.
That dude is made of fucking glass. They need to do something because he just keeps getting hurt.
It's not even made of glass, though. He just runs so hard and doesn't go down and just allows himself to get leveled. Yep. Paige says the Jags, they won in London. They're superior. I'm taking the Jags, but I'm a little bit worried about a Minshew revenge game here.
Got the Jags as well. I'm not worried about Minshew whatsoever. I think the Jags are going to get going as well for our division winners parlay. I think those are the two that we're worried about at the moment, right? Jags and Falcons. Well, Packers for you, but
yeah,
I think those are the only two, so I need those two to get going. Panthers, Dolphins. Dolphins rolled. Nothing to say there. They played the Giants. And then, like we said, the Panthers got absolutely shit on. Bryce Young, I'm not ready to say he's bad yet because he has nobody to throw to and no offensive line. But they need to get him some help or else his career is going to be ruined. But he showed some flashes. I mean, he hits his fucking spots. He only made a couple mistakes, so.
Yes. Paige says, Dolphins for sure. Also, Mr. Earl was a nobody before Alex. I thought his name was Paxton. She's obviously talking about Braxton Berrios. I'm taking the Dolphins as well. This is too easy.
Yeah, Dolphins. Dolphins by 1 million. I think they cover as well. I think their defense is a little bit better than the Lions, so I think they can cover that pretty easily. At home as well. It's hot down there.
There's two very large spreads this week.
Yep. Vikings at the Bears. Bears are only plus 2.5. What do we do? We talked about the Bears. Did we talk about the Vikings? Vikings lost to the Chiefs. Was that a close game or no? Yeah.
27-20, Vikings were driving at the end.
That's right. Yeah. I'm not ready to declare the Vikings bad yet just because that offense is so shit.
I
forgot about Jefferson. Jefferson.
He's out. Completely ready. I think the Vikings
their defense
would be
is
smart.
Atrocious.
Yes, I think the Vikings would be smart to trade Cousins and tank and potentially try and get Caleb Williams. Imagine Caleb Williams with Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson, and Jordan Addison.
Yeah, but yes, that would be very good if they could somehow tank here, get a quarterback. I don't know that they'll be able to offload Kirk Cousins' salary, though. He's got a big old contract, and I don't think he's that good. But that would be a lot of fun to watch. They would just need to get a couple pieces on the offensive line, and then that team would be a fucking powerhouse. Also,
I heard a rumor
draft,
today, Kirk Cousins to Atlanta would be a great fit, and then the Vikings take the Atlanta. Somebody was like, if the Vikings take a second round from Atlanta, that would probably be all it takes to get Kirk Cousins.
I think Atlanta would be a good fit because they're good. It's just Ritter kind of sucks a little bit.
Yep.
All right. I had something to say, but I forgot. There's a lot of good quarterbacks in this draft upcoming, too. You got, obviously, Caleb Williams. Drake May's probably going to go. And then Hartman. He's going to be a good quarterback, too, I think. So
Hartman's like 26, isn't he?
No, he's 23. He's the same age as Justin Fields.
Oh.
So
okay.
He's younger than, what the fuck is that dude's name? Stetson Bennett.
Hendon Hooker. Stetson Bennett.
Hendon Hooker too, probably, but I think he'll be a early second, late first round pick if he finishes the year playing well. But he hasn't looked very good.
Yeah. Paige says Vikings because I hate them a tad less than the Bears. I'm going to take the Bears. I think with Justin Jefferson out, this offense might struggle a little bit for the Vikings, and the Bears have looked good at least the last 2 weeks. So, I mean, if they could put together a full game, I don't mind it.
Yeah, I'm taking the Vikings. I think the Bears need to lose. They need these high first-round picks. They've got 2 of them this year. The Panthers are going to be bad. And the Bears' defense is still bad. I don't want to overreact to how they looked on Thursday. It's still a horrible defense. And Kirk Cousins can still throw to Addison. They've got Madison if he cannot fumble the ball. I think the Vikings pull it out. I don't know that they cover, though.
I think the Bears
final score.
Yeah, I think the Bears need to lose, but I think Justin Jefferson is playing too much for trying to prove himself.
You mean Justin Fields?
Yes, sorry.
Okay, you confused me. Next up, 49ers Browns. 49ers stomped the Cowboys. We talked about that. Browns had a bye. Deshaun Watson's banged up, though. Yeah, that's it, I think. What's Paige got?
Paige says, I don't prefer either. Gonna go with the 49ers because a lot of people I follow on TikTok are 49ers fans, and they won this week. I'm also taking the 49ers. Yep,
I'm taking the 49ers as well. They're my lock. I don't even know that Deshaun's gonna play. But even if he does, the 49ers defense is so fucking good.
Might be good to grab this number now.
Yeah, the 5.5. I was thinking about it.
Yep.
I probably will. I think it goes up. All right, next up, Saints absolutely blew out the Patriots 34-0. And then the Texans, like we said, lost to the Falcons. I think the Patriots dynasty is dead. It's obviously
so do I.
Like it kind of was last year, but I think Belichick either leaves after this year or stays one more and he's gone because Mac Jones ain't the guy.
Yeah, they're not good. And I mean, Derek Carr only threw for 183 yards and they still put up 34 points.
Yep. They had, was it 2 defensive touchdowns or just 1?
I don't know off the top of my head.
I know they had 1 for sure, and then I think they had another pick that gave them, like, short yards.
Yeah. Anyways, Paige says, ooh, I like them both. Texans, I want whatever team is going to win. This is my swing vote. I win either way. So I'm giving her the Texans.
Yeah,
I'm also taking the Texans.
Yeah, give me the Texans, too. I still think the Saints are lackluster. The Patriots' defense is banged up like crazy, and Stroud doesn't turn the ball over. So the Saints are going to have to move the ball, and they can't. So give me the Texans.
The Texans are over 500 team, so.
I could see it, or at least damn near right there. Patriots Raiders, we talked about it. Raiders beat the Pack on Monday. Patriots looked like shit. No spread for this or not yet?
It wasn't out when I made this.
Gotcha.
It is
Raiders -2.5.
I'll look it up.
I was just guessing.
All right, there we go.
I was guessing.
Well, Paige says it's part of my favorite 5, and they beat you today. LOL. Raiders Nation, baby. I said neither, but Raiders, I guess. Currently, I don't know. I can't get to it fast enough.
That's all right. I'll talk about mine. I'm taking the Raiders because the Patriots' defense is just really, really fucking bad, and Mac Jones sucks. Raiders -3.
Raiders are 3.5.
Oh, I got 3. What are you looking on?
FanDuel.
Oh, I'm on DraftKings. Isn't that crazy? Half a point's a big fucking deal. I'm thinking when I bet,
especially
I
at
should
3
start
and 3.5.
line shopping. Yeah, 3.5 is a
Pickett
huge
Sports.
deal.
That's what
crazy.
I use.
Yeah, I think that's the way to do it because that's crazy. A half-point difference. I guess it is.
I've been doing a lot of line shopping the last few weeks, and it's really nice.
Next game, Lions Bucks. Talked about the Lions. Obviously, they look good. Bucks had a bye. This one is gonna be scary for me because I like the Bucks. I like Baker Mayfield. The Bucks defense is good. I think the Lions handle this one though. What does Paige got?
Paige says, I couldn't tell you one goddamn thing about the Bucks. Tampa, we'll go with the Lions. Apparently they decided to be good this year. I am also on the Lions. This line makes no sense to me. Lions are a 3-point favorite. I feel like it should be higher, but it's whatever.
I think it's the at Tampa thing, and Tampa's defense is actually kind of good. Like, they've got a lot of their Super Bowl guys still there, and they're healthy. So I think that's why it's 3. But if I didn't tell myself to not bet on the Lions, I only did last week because I was at the stadium, I would take the Lions for sure. Obviously, taking the Lions to win. Cardinals Rams. Cardinals had a bye?
Cardinals lost to the Bengals.
Cardinals lost to the Bengals. That's right. And then the Rams had a bye.
No.
Fuck.
Rams
I didn't watch football.
lost to the Eagles.
Okay. Oh, that's right.
23-13.
It was close, though.
Yeah.
All right.
23-14, and Cooper Kupp is back. Paige says, this makes me sad. There's actual tears in my eyes. How do you pick between the fabulous five? Can I actually make this my swing vote? I can't do this. I guess, the Rams. Of course, she had to take the Rams.
Yeah,
I'm also going to take the Rams. I think Puka and Cooper Kupp is kind of unstoppable.
Now, I wanted to take the Rams. However, I was just agreeing with you so much, so I was like, fuck it. This is my flip game. I'm taking the Cards. I shouldn't. It's dumb. The Rams are going to win this game. They're probably going to cover. It's at home. Puka and Cooper Kupp. The Rams, honestly, will probably make the playoffs. No, not in the NFC. No, because they'd have to make it as a wild
probably
card.
Not.
Not make it as a wild card. But I'm taking the Cards. It's stupid. I shouldn't. I should really flip right now to the Rams, but I'm not going to do it. Cardinals.
Honestly, looking at this slate this week, it seems like all of these games are really easy, and I feel like this is the week where everything just goes batshit.
Yeah. Yep. A lot of upsets type shit.
That you would never expect, yes.
Right. Like the Cardinals. So, yeah, we're riding it. All right. Next one, Eagles, Jets. We just said Eagles beat the Rams. Jets beat the Broncos. We said earlier. What's Paige got?
Paige says, gross. I guess the Jets, I don't have a reason other than I just don't care. As you can tell, she has not watched much football lately. This is Eagles by a couple hundred.
Now, see, I disagree there. The Eagles win the game. However, the Eagles have burned me on spreads this year. They didn't cover against the Commanders. Who's the other team they didn't cover against? There's another one. But they're not covering spreads. They're winning games close, even against the shitty teams. So I'm not touching it. You can go out and bet the Eagles. I'm not touching it, but the Eagles win this game. Okay. But it's gross, like Paige said. Giants at the Bills. The Bills, biggest spread of the week, -14.
Paige says, Billers, because I never once picked the Giants and I'm not going to start now, and I don't hate the Bills. So I said Bills by 1 million. Fun fact, the spreadsheet has the Giants scoring -2 points, which makes sense because Daniel Jones might not play.
Yeah, Bills by 47 points probably. They'll probably score more than the Dolphins did against the Broncos.
Yeah.
And then Cowboys Chargers. Fun one here. Cowboys looked like shit against the 49ers. Dak looked like true Dak, 3 picks, and then the Chargers were on a bye.
Yes. Paige says, I'm on strike for the Colts and Chargers because they confuse the shit out of me. Also, it's the Cowboys. Why wouldn't you choose the Cowboys? I'm going to take the Cowboys. I don't think you can bet the Chargers coming off a bye. Pretty sure there's a stat about that.
I just saw an Austin Eckler. Austin Eckler is playing in this game. The Chargers are rested, and Dak Prescott looked so fucking bad against the Niners. Give me the Chargers. Khalil Mack's going to have 4 sacks, and there will probably be 2 interceptions in the game.
Yes. Quotes of the week. Paige says, welcome to Mr. Week, Mr. Cooch, Mr. Earl, Mr. Swift. Also, I would like to thank the NFL for not allowing Taylor Swift to be at the game this week. They did a justice for all non-Taylor fans, a.k.a. me. So her parlay this week is the Raiders, the Dolphins, and the Chiefs. I actually like that parlay a lot.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I said, finally, good week. Let's just keep it rolling. I did take the lead this week by 3 games. No big deal.
And then I said, hey, I went 6-8 last week, dropped me down to 45-33, second place. Still ahead of Paige because she's picking teams based on the TikTok wife she follow. Stolen Valor, by the way, they didn't earn those followers. I said, hey, sometimes you need a setback for a major comeback. Kim Kardashian said that, I'm pretty sure, when she got cum on her back. So, moving on. You got any do not bet lists this week?
I did, but I forgot to put them down. I don't remember what they were.
Me too. And honestly, with the do not bet list, we're not tracking it. I could go back and listen and write them down, but just know that there's a lot, and I'm pretty sure we just avoid them subconsciously.
Texas,
I really got to pee,
And-
so I'm loading up roulette right now.
Okay.
I am about to explode with piss. Last week, we went back to back to back to back. So hopefully we can keep it going. That was on FanDuel, though. I'm on DraftKings. Hopefully I don't jinx it. But we are up 40
NHL
as a
starts tonight, by the
podcast.
way.
NHL is back tonight. I was going to do a lock and forgot. Oh, shit. 0, 2, 3, 9, 10, 12, 22, 23, 24, 30. Holy shit, I can't believe I got that in. I had
That's
10
quick.
seconds and I got it. I've kind of memorized our numbers now at this point. All right.
I would hope so.
Here comes our lightning numbers. Come on, set me up good for this vacation I got now. No lightning number for us. If we hit, we should do $2 again because we won so much last week.
Okay.
29, not our number. Oh, wait, did I read it wrong? Nope, 29. Sorry,
No.
didn't mean to get your hopes up.
That's all right.
That's everything. I appreciate this being a quick one. I'm going to South Carolina. Can't wait to recap it for you next week. We're golfing tomorrow in South Carolina. I can't wait. Anything to add?
It wasn't that quick, but
It wasn't, but it was. Hey, we've been an hour and a half. This was only an hour, 10?
15. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, man. All right. Have a great weekend, everybody. Let's hit some tanks, door some tutties. We'll see you next week.
Peace.